Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. We just do a quick sound check here. Sounds good. Okay, let me just get everything set up ready to go. Thought what I'd do this afternoon is a little bit of Creators Club, because it's been a while since we've had any Creators Club on the channel, and it's always quite popular, and I thought I would start off with Northern Pennine, because one of my scenarios from the Creators Club is in Creators Club now for you to download. I did do a video on this a few weeks back. It's been quite popular actually, and that's running the Northern Rail Class 150 between Manchester and Leeds. And I thought, why not let's run this one from the actual scenario planner itself and just do it directly. So it takes us about an hour to do this one, and then after this we'll hop over to West Cornwall, and we'll also run something from Creators Club there as well. But for now, this is the Class 150 from West Cornwall, running on Northern Pennine. We will also see a Class 31, which is there as traffic, and we'll see the 37 as well, but it's a special 37. It's 37401 Mary Queen of Scots. So if you've already watched the video on the channel, then you'll already be familiar with this one, but I wanted to run it again because it's been quite a while since I last ran it, and I have run it several times. It's a good scenario, if I do say so myself. So you can find it, as I said, on Creators Club. Just look for my username on Creators Club, which is exactly the same as it is for YouTube and other places, and you'll see it under there. Fairly well subscribed. I've also got in the description what you will need as far as requirements. So the livery, for example, for Northern is listed there as well, so you know exactly where to go to get that. But anyway, let's get underway. No safety systems, of course, on Northern Pennine, so we won't bother with those. We can get everything else set up. Headlights are set today, so that's fine. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Are the marker lights on? Yep. Destination light, tail switch. Where are the instrument lights? It's one of these, isn't it? Where are you? That's the one. Right, let's get the windows open. And the doors. So let's take a quick look. I've got a couple of Northern liveries. This scenario is set up with this one, which I think is by Cossy Josh. And as I said, if you look for this scenario in the Creators Club, all the requirements are in there, so you can set it up exactly the same. If you try to just run the scenario without the livery, of course, it'll default to the Regional Railways Class 150 that comes with West Cornwall. So nearly ready to depart. Get the doors locked. So we're stopping at Huddersfield along the way. Which is 22 miles away. Lots and lots and lots of different liveries now on Creators Club for the 150. So you'll probably find something in there that means something to you from your locality. There's quite a few. I've got the Merseyrail. I've got the Merseyrail one. I've got an old Northern livery, the sort of pink and blue old Northern livery. I've also got the Arriva Trains Wales. You may have seen some of these on the channel already, because I have run these a few times in separate videos. So shortly we can accelerate up to a 40. There we go. So we're on the PS5 Agorist today, just in case you were wondering. Although these scenarios from Creators Club will of course run on any platform, as long as you own the DLC that they are associated with. You shouldn't have an issue. Making our way up the hill, which is quite easy for this 150. Some of the heavy oil freight trains that come as part of the Northern Pennine heavy freight pack struggle a little bit to get up this hill, but this one's okay. No problem at all. Plenty of passengers on board as well today. Pretty popular service. Right, we've got a 20 coming up, so just take some of this power off. So up towards the left there, you can go up to Newton Heath, which is also part of the heavy freight pack. So Northern Pennine. There are a lot of timetable services up there for the Class 08. Such a good looking livery, this one. So thanks for coming into the stream, and if you're watching it on demand, thank you for that as well. Please do leave me a little like as well, because that really helps, and if you would like to subscribe, we do these pretty regular, as well as all the other simulation games we do on the channel. So hopefully there's plenty there for you to see. We'll put some power on because we are going up to 60 quite soon. Go back in the cab for a little bit, I think. So if you're a regular, you'll know this has always been one of my most favourite routes, if not the favourite. And there's quite a few routes at this point in time, but this one's remained quite special, I think. And fairly quickly we got the it was a good route anyway, but then we got the heavy freight pack on top of that, which came in for this, which added so much more playability to it. It's just it doubled up on what already was a good route, in my opinion. It's probably fairly old though, it's a couple of years old, this one. Let's speed up. So 60 is our top speed right now across this section, so we're just about right there. We are dropping to a 50, just under a mile's time. So I will start taking a bit of that speed off. I love the fact now that you can do the two-tone horn right from the controller. Because I don't have a keyboard attached. I know a lot of console players have a Bluetooth keyboard attached, but I haven't gone that far yet. Put a bit more speed in because we're on quite a steep incline. So if you're watching, thanks for coming in, I appreciate it. Feel free to say hello. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon, or wherever you are in the world. So we're on our way to Leeds in this Class 150 Northern Rail. with just the one stop, which is at Huddersfield, which is 17 miles, so not that far. I must remember to jump out and get the collectibles on this route. I do see them as I'm driving through. I've done that for the PS4 version, but I've not done that yet for the PS5 version. It is quite an interesting route to walk up and down, so I will get to that at some point. There's so much stuff to play in the game that I've neglected to come back and do that a second time. So we've got a 15 coming up as we go through the next station, so need to be ready for that half a mile. Just put one notch of brake in for now. So don't forget, you can go and pick this up on Creators Club. This scenario is one of mine, so just go on Creators Club and just search for my name there. It's the same as it is for YouTube and on the forums, just Tintin_57, and you should find that on Creators Club. All the requirements, all the needed DLC is all listed there in the description, just to help out the Northern livery, etc, etc, and where to get that from. So just approaching the 15. We'll start to be able to see the Pennines looming up large in front as we leave Manchester behind and carry on across into Yorkshire. We'll scoot down the platform with the train. Hopefully everybody's stood well back. You know we're not stopping here. There isn't actually a yellow line on this platform, which is interesting. There's another collectible. Have I got that one? Yeah, you see I haven't even got that one. So once we get the other side of this tunnel, we can open it up for quite a stretch. We go up to a 60 and then we increase further after that. So we'll clear this tunnel. Of course, we got to wait until when we get to the speed board. We got to wait until the back of the train also clears the board before we can speed up. pretty dark. So there we go. I can now go up to 60. Of course, the lights on UK trains they're used for navigation purposes, really, just for awareness. They're not used to guide the driver in any way, like the headlights of your car. Quite often you see forum posts on DTG forums where players will complain that they can't see anything in the tunnels, but that's how it's designed. Unlike some of the US freight locos we've been used to that have very, very strong lighting at the front. A bit different with UK trains. They generally just have the small lights on there just to show there is a train in the area, mainly. So we've still got 15 miles to go till we get to Huddersfield, but it won't take us long. Past these cooling towers on the right hand side. I don't know if these are still here now. This route was set a few years ago. I don't think there are many places that still have cooling towers such as this, so I suspect they've probably gone, but I would need to rely on somebody local to be able to tell me that, or somebody that travels this line quite a bit these days. Probably some more efficient method now of doing what those cooling towers used to do. So we'll hop back in the cab for a little while. So just one stop at Huddersfield today on the way to Leeds. This is an express service. Takes about an hour, give or take a few minutes, about an hour from Manchester up to Leeds. That 0.8% incline there, actually, when you take the power off, it just slows down quite a bit. Let's put the power back in. We've hit the 60 now. So I love the fact now that we've got Creators Club. We've mentioned this before in previous videos, but there's the 37, Mary Queen of Scots, making a special appearance. But yeah, Creators Club's great because it's putting so much enjoyment into routes that are already quite enjoyable, such as this one. The different liveries now that you can get, combined with scenario planner, creating your own scenarios with those liveries is really, really good. I suspect that was in planning for a long time. whilst they were just working out how it could be done. But certainly it's good fun just nipping into Creators Club and just having a look at some of the really good stuff that people are creating, and just being able to just choose those free of charge pretty much, and just downloading those. One thing I can't work out yet how to do is when we've done this one, I'm going to switch to West Cornwall and run a 37 on there with a livery that I've picked up that I know quite well. I can't get the coaches to change to a livery that I've also got from Creators Club, which is a shame. Now that might be a West Cornwall thing, because the West Cornwall 37 that comes with the route is just for freight. So in Scenario Planner, only the wagons seem to be available with the 37 when you set up a scenario with the 37. So I don't know whether or not the coaches are available yet in Scenario Planner. I need to look into that. It's a bit confusing. So I can run a 37 service and choose the livery for the 37 that I want, but I can't change the livery for the coaches. And when we get to West Cornwall, you'll see what I mean, because the coaches are part of the same livery as the 37. But I won't give it away just yet till we get to West Cornwall. So I'll look into that. Might be just me doing something wrong. I don't use the Scenario Planner enough to really know it like the back of my hand just yet. But if you guys know that, reach out to me and let me know how to do it. So we've got 11 miles till we stop at Huddersfield. Got 45 coming up. We're about to go into the tunnel. So thanks once again for coming in, and also if you watch it on demand, thank you. So we should get to speed up in the tunnel. There we go. We can put it in notch 7 now. And we're under 10 miles now till we get to Huddersfield. So we're doing quite well. So Northern Trans Pennine, of course, this is set just before the safety systems were introduced. So although the Class 150, of course, has got all the safety systems, well, all the locos actually that run on NTP that come with the route have got safety systems in case you use them on other routes. You can't actually use those safety systems on Northern Trans Pennine because it's set in the era before they were installed, which is a bit of a shame, but that is accurate to the period. So it's a long tunnel. It's about 4 miles, just over 4 miles, this tunnel. There's 2 tunnels and I get them mixed up. I always get them mixed up. So that 40 miles per hour speed change that we've got coming up, that pretty much marks the end of the tunnel. So we've got just over a mile until we get to the end of the tunnel. You can't tell by looking in front of us. You can see sort of the end of the tunnel there. You see the mouth of the tunnel, but it isn't realistic. It keeps resetting itself. You'll see it's the way that the game goes. Super Owen Gaming, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Hope you're well. So we need to get down to that 40. And I think that was the 31 that went past us just then. It's a double-headed 31. Depending on how you are timings wise, you'll see that obviously just before the tunnel. So we're deep into the Pennines right now, as you can see. And we're nearly at Huddersfield, just 7 miles now. It's great on this DLC, as you pass through a station, you can see the ballast in the forefoot is covered in oil, which is quite representative of some of these heavy freight trains going through the stations, leaving oil behind on the track. It's quite a nice touch. But no heavy freight today, because we're in the 150. Running the express. Some of these, if you, speeding wise, it's pretty unforgiving. If you just go to the speed limit and you're a slight fraction over, it'll only award you 15 points instead of 30. And I still find that ball on the speed indicator, I find that hard to tell whether I'm speeding or not speeding. In the first TSW, instead of that sort of checkered ball we've got there in the hood, there was a little dash which would rise and fall. And I found that much easier to see than this ball. I can't tell where the centre point is in that ball to know whether I'm speeding up or slowing down. So I do get caught out quite a lot. I guess the thing to do is not to permanently run the train right up to the speed limit. So 65 now, if I stay at 64, I'm not going to lose any points. But I mean, points are not a big deal. There's nothing currently we can use the points for. It'd be good if we could use points to sort of trade, for example, for new skins or whatever it might be. But now we've got Creators Club, we can get unofficial skins, but it would be nice if we could get something official. Really, those action points, they really don't, they're really not used for anything. So I wonder if in the future, you know, there is some plan to be able to Other than it sort of confirming what level you are in the game, I wonder if there is some plan to actually use those for some kind of rewards game. I think in the past, in the old TSW, there were Dovetail Live rewards, desktop pictures for your PC, for example, and I'm sure one or more of those was based on the whole community getting several million action points within a certain time period. So they've done mileage related ones as well. The whole community's mileage by a certain date, and then everybody would receive the reward pack. But I've not seen those for a while. I don't even think I've seen those in Train Sim World 2. I think that was just the original Train Sim World. But we are 3 miles from Huddersfield, so we're not far away. Then we'll be making our way directly onto Leeds after that. Here's the 31. Double header, sort of light engine. So to have that 31, you of course need the 31 Class 31 DLC. But right now, the Class 31 to have that, you'll need Tees Valley Line first. So I don't know what it does actually. If you try to buy a local DLC and you haven't got the required route, I don't know if it lets you still buy the local DLC. It probably does, because the PSN store or Xbox store or Steam probably doesn't realise what the requirement actually is, so it probably lets you buy it even if you haven't got TVL. Would be nice if some of the local DLCs were uncoupled from certain routes, but I know when you get a local DLC, it comes with a set of scenarios that are usually based on a certain route. It'll have a timetable, a journey mode, which is based around a certain route, so you can see why it is coupled together. But it'd be nice in the future if they could unpick that. So if you want the Class 31, you can just buy the Class 31 and just run it anywhere. So let's prepare for Huddersfield. We need to get down to a 50 pretty quickly. Quickly down to a 15 by the end of the tunnel, just before we get to Huddersfield station. Quickly nip into the cab. This is the first of the 2 tunnels before Huddersfield. The braking on this 150 actually is pretty good, so you can get your speed down pretty quickly, to be honest. Just a few hundred yards away now. So Huddersfield will appear as soon as we come out of this tunnel. I'm stopping at platform 8. Ah, it looks so good, this one. Right, let's get the doors open. Not sure if we've got any takers. Everybody that's on must be going all the way to Leeds, it looks like. So don't forget, if you do watch it on demand and you've got any comments, just leave them in the comments section below. I do try to respond to everything. Anything you want to know or ask me, feel free. We'll get these passengers loaded and then we'll be on our way. So, next stop is Leeds. We're all the way through to Leeds now, 14 miles. That's not our red light, by the way. Ours is there. We've got the green on that side. We're up to 40 miles per hour and then 70, so up to notch 7. There's a big yard up here on the left hand side, as you can see there, and as far as I can remember, that yard there, the sidings, it's only used once in, I think it's the Whistler and Gronk scenario, which comes with Northern Trans Pennine, but that's modelled there, but it's only used that once, which is a bit of a shame really. I often wondered whether or not there would be something added where you see this line going into it from this side, you can't use it all. It's a bit of a shame really, because it's got quite a lot of potential. Good as though it already is, it's got even more potential there. But I don't know whether that's just scenery or whether that is actually modelled. So that could be the issue. We'll need to be slowing down to a 50 quite shortly. We are actually travelling downhill right now as well. Hello, SNCF, how are you? Thanks for jumping in again. Good to see you. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Let's get some power in up this hill. So we're just about to go onto the fastest stretch of this route, where we get up to 80 miles an hour. What is the actual maximum speed? 75 miles per hour. I'm not there yet, and I'm over speeding. So let's see how fast we can actually get to, because it doesn't really speed up as good as it should do, this 150, unfortunately. It's downhill, you see, and it's crawling along really, and that's in notch 7. That's the highest notch of throttle we can give it. It's picking up a little bit now. Yeah, SNCF, if you do your own scenario and you do it with a 150, you know I will subscribe to that, because you know how I love a 150. Especially if you can find another 150 livery. Compressor speed, where's that? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's off. Does that really increase my acceleration? I can't tell just now. I'm coming up to the 45 as well. Oh, it's just, is it just a, right, it's just a noise thing, is it? It doesn't actually help you accelerate in any way. I'll remember that then in that case. I get you. So it's like the real thing. Yeah. I'll remember that then for next time. I'm not stopping at this one. I'm going to, well actually yeah, I can accelerate out in the second corner. Let's try it now then. Or do you mean just from static? Just from, let me listen to it. Yeah, see I can't hear it there. So you mean from a complete stop as you're accelerating? From static, yeah, okay. Right, I'll try that next time then. Some of the buttons in the cab, I'm never quite sure whether they're just clickable, you know, such as demist. Well, you can't even click that one. You know, I'm never sure whether or not they do anything or whether they're just there to be clicked. So hold gear, I don't even know what that would do. Anyway, not to worry, thanks for that tip. I will try that next time. as we thunder through. And soon get back up to 60. Do appreciate everybody coming in. Thanks for joining me. Once we get to Leeds, we'll go off to West Cornwall and we'll run something else from Creators Club. Oh, you travelled on this last week, SNCF. Did you do the full? Did you do Manchester to Leeds? Did you go the other way, or where did you go from and to? And with Pennine Express. I haven't been up this way in a long time. I've been as far as Victoria, but I haven't been past Victoria towards Leeds. Victoria to York and return, nice. It's a good run that, to York. MCO, you mean Oxford Road? I think you mean Oxford Road there, do you? Yeah, it is a good walk. Yeah, straight down the main road there, through the middle of Manchester. I can't remember what it's called now. It's not Market Street, is it? Can't remember. But yeah, it's a decent walk. The last time I was at Victoria, actually, when I worked in Manchester, I spent a lot of time down that end of Manchester, but for quite a few years I've only visited occasionally, and the last time I went down to the Victoria end, I was amazed at the level of regeneration there is down at that end. It used to be very not run down, but not modernised compared to the Piccadilly end. The Piccadilly end, when Piccadilly Gardens was had some attention, but every time you went down to the Victoria end, it was very, very oldie worldy. And I think once there was the issue where the bomb went off down that end, which you probably walked down SNCF on your route between Oxford Road and Victoria. Once that happened, they regenerated it after that, bit by bit, and it's quite posh down there now. There's a few bars down there, and the print works, of course, went up. Or it was always there. It was regenerated, I should say. Oh, Ancoats is getting redone. Okay. I actually remember Victoria Station being like it is in the game, as it's presented here, which is quite interesting. So 3.4 miles till we get into Leeds, and then we'll flip over to Cornwall after that. I do have to keep looking at this livery, I do like it quite a lot. For West Cornwall, I'm going to do a 37 passenger service, but I'm going to choose a livery that I've picked up from Creators Club to do it. And earlier in the stream, actually, SNCF, before you joined, I was just mentioning that you'll see when we get to West Cornwall, but I was trying to work out, I have a set of coaches, Mark II coaches, yeah, passenger service. I've got a set of Mark II coaches that are in the same livery as the 37 livery that we're going to be running. But I couldn't work out in Scenario Planner how to bring those coaches in. The only options I seemed to have on West Cornwall was freight wagons to go with the 37. So I don't know if coaches are not customisable, let's say, in West Cornwall yet, or whether I was just doing something wrong. I can pick the livery for the 37, but I don't seem to be able to run a passenger service with a 37 in Scenario Planner, if that makes sense. So I can't change the livery of the coaches. I seem to be able to on West Somerset, but not in Cornwall. Okay, you haven't tried it yet. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find out about it off stream and see if it's something I'm doing wrong. But I can't on West Cornwall. I can't seem to be able to get the coaches selectable with the 37. Therefore, I can't bring in the Mark II coach livery that I want to do that matches the engine. But you'll see which 37 I'm using. Yeah, once we get to Cornwall, I'll show you what I mean. So we have got a 25 coming up as we approach Leeds. So we have a 25, down to a 20, down to a 10 before we hit Leeds station. So we started this run at 11 o'clock, it's 11:57, so we are going to be in or around an hour, which is good. So I'll start bringing the speed down. Does actually seem a very slow approach into Leeds, this, especially the final stretch where we go down to 10 miles per hour. Just see Leeds city centre there off in the distance. Two yellows, so remember, no safety systems on this route, as we mentioned earlier. the time in which this route is set, safety systems weren't implemented yet on Northern Trent's Pennine. So platform 12 at Leeds, we will be coming in on. So just while we're coming into Leeds, bit light on Train Sim World 2 news. So as you know on the channel, I like to do little news updates. It's been pretty light on news just this last few weeks. Not many Railfans TV streams coming up either, so we can't really talk about that. There will be a roadmap this Tuesday, so we'll see what that brings. But no, fairly light on news. No new routes are being announced. I think Spirit of Steam sounds like it will be the next UK route. There's certainly going to be nothing before that. There is a German route in the works, which hasn't been announced yet as to what that is. So if you enjoy the German routes, there'll be that to look forward to. And again, I don't know whether that will be coming out before Spirit of Steam or after Spirit of Steam. Nobody's got any release dates yet for these, so we don't quite know. It's a bit of a waiting game going on just now. What's the Creators Club name of the carriages, SNCF? I'll just double check once we get to Leeds. I'll just quickly nip into the Creators Club and I'll show everybody what we're going to run next. So you can see if you can set that up in the background at your end. So this is Leeds. Let's go along the platform actually. So we've got a red right at the end of this platform, right next to the stop marker, so it's one of those where we need to be super careful not to spad. Afternoon, Farah. No, you've missed the first half, mate, that's all. Straight after this one, we're going off to West Cornwall. See if we can get on the money without spadding. That'll do. I'm happy with that one. Let's get the doors unlocked. Oh, a 2-up challenge now. Now you're putting the pressure on me, SNCF. I can't promise the fun and hilarity of a DTG 4-up challenge or anything like that. Lock these doors, and that should be us done on this one. So an hour and 4, nearly 43 miles. It's a nice run. This is a nice run. So that's part 1. Right, let me flick back into Creators Club, and I'll tell you what we'll run on this next one. So if I just go down to my subscriptions, I'm assuming that Creators Club is working because I've had to keep logging in and logging out quite a lot. Just before we do that, just a reminder, the one we just ran is, if I can tell where my cursor is, this is the one that we just ran. If you did want to pick it up, it is there in Creators Club. Those are the details right there. As I mentioned while we were on the run, in the description there, I've actually put in the requirements as well. So if you want to get the Northern livery that I actually used for this one, that's also mentioned there. And who's uploaded it as well, because some of these, you want to play along with some of these, and you can't find out. You see them and they look really good. You can't find out who's done what, unfortunately, because it doesn't. If you go down to the required content, it just tells you what routes you need. It doesn't tell you what else within Creators Club you need, unfortunately. So I haven't got many on Creators Club yet, but I have tried to put in as much detail as I can, just so that it helps you guys out. And Farah says, I'm clearly a big fan of that livery. Yeah, I am. I have to stop playing this one now and give some others a chance because you're right, I do quite like it. Right, so let me look at my subscriptions. So what I was going to do is, these are the coaches. So if you want to have a look at that SNCF, so these are the West Coast Railways Mark IIs. Because this is a livery I know quite well from not being that far away from Carnforth where these guys are based. So those are the coaches. That's the first thing. Then as for the livery itself for the 37, it is this one. So it is the 37685 by Laird 70. There are a couple on there for this actual engine, but this is the one. So when I go into the scenario planner in West Cornwall, I can pick the 37, but I can't pick the coaches because coaches are not available full stop to me in the scenario planner. I can only pick freight wagons. So I don't know whether that means that West Cornwall hasn't got full scenario planner functionality. I don't know if it means that or not, but yeah, I'm having trouble with it. So what I was going to do is I want to run that engine anyway, so let's go to West Cornwall. And there is a service. If you find out, by the way, SNCF, let me know. Just drop me a comment or something on the forum or something like that. I've got a few liveries. This one I've got. What a shame you can't see the side of the loco like we used to be able to. This view's a bit pants. But that's Mary Queen of Scots 37401, which we saw pass us in the last scenario. And also, actually, if you look on the channel in the Real Trains playlist, I've got a video I took of 37401 that is in that playlist, so you can actually see that one in real life, which is quite good. But this one is this is the West Coast one that we're going to run, and there's a service 910, which takes about an hour. So we'll run this one. Do I use Discord? I do use Discord, SNCF, yeah. I think in the description on the channel, I think I've got my Discord name in there. Just double check. If not, I will add it afterwards, and then you can ping me direct, because I know a couple of other guys have pinged me on there as well. So this is 1A82. Oh, you're joining. Okay, tell me when. 1A82 Penzance to Paddington. So drive this express service as far as St Austell. So we're going the full length of the line in this West Coast Railways. What I'll do, I'll just go into it. I'll get set up, but I won't actually leave yet. So we just get the standard coaches here. So what I was trying to do is get those Mark II coaches just to attach to the back of the train in Scenario Planner, but it just wouldn't let me. So I'll get the doors open. A map of the route, definitely. So down here where we are, we've got Penzance. And then up here we've got the branch line, which goes from St Earth down to St Ives. And we're carrying on all the way down here to St Austell, which is down there. So if you want to look at the whole thing's like that. So that's the map. It's a pretty I quite like this route. There's been a lot of complaints about it from various community members, but I look at it in a slightly different way to a lot of people, because I haven't been to this route. So I'll hold my hand up and I'll say that I don't know it like a lot of people know it. I don't know where we're stopping actually, SNCF, just let me have a look. St Earth, Camborne, Red Roof, Truro, St Austell. Is that an all stopper? No, I don't see every station on there, so it's an express, isn't it? St Earth, Camborne, Red Roof, Truro, St Austell. Right, let me get rid of that. Let me get the cab set up before we do anything. So master key's down here, isn't it? Somewhere. Put it in forward. Put those up. Is the headlight switch here? Yeah, it is. Right. We don't need that. Instrument light, tail light should be off. Route indicator we definitely need. Put the cab light on just for a second. We need these. I think we'll get rid of the cab light right now. Okay, so you don't have the passenger version. Not to worry. Right, I'll get going then in that case. So that's interesting. So I just went out of the cab and it thinks the front end is at the back. But anyway, it's a nice day down at the beach, look. Lovely. Alright, so let's get the brakes off. This is Loch Arkaig, by the way. This 37. It's taking a while for the brakes to come down. I'm still not convinced by this horn. It sounds like a Casio keyboard that I had when I was a kid. If that makes sense. Anyway, we'll put some throttle in. That's tickled Farah, that. So we'll make our way first to St. Earth. Probably not going to be on time now because I've hung about a little bit just looking at various bits and pieces, but that's fine. But yeah, if I could get this set up so I've got the right liveried coaches as well behind. Now maybe I can do that on another route. I just don't, as I say, I don't know if it's just West Cornwall where that's a problem. But let's have a look out at the coast. It's looking good. We've gone from industrial Manchester and Leeds down to the very picturesque Penzance coast there. Is each stop 1 minute? Do you know? I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. We'll find out. If you work it out, SNCF, I'll double check after this that my Discord name is in the description, and you can ping me on there and let me know how you did it. Let's give it some thrash. So, as I mentioned, I like this one because West Coast Railways is at Carnforth, and you may gather from my accent, I'm not that far away from Carnforth. I am Lancashire, so it isn't that far away, and I do see this quite a bit up and down the West Coast main line, and in fact, they have 57 as well in this livery, and I actually travelled on that the other year when I went from Oxenholme to Windermere. I went to Windermere, and it was running up and down the Windermere branch, which was quite nice. There's an 08. Once again, thanks everybody for coming in. I appreciate it on a Saturday afternoon. Here's the stock 37 that comes with the route. Quick tap on the Casio there. It does look good, that coastline in the distance. There's a very good chance you will beat me actually, SNCF. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Farah says it was either watching me or watching women's rugby, and I won. Oh look, there you go, there's a 40. GBRF 40 that I've also downloaded in Creators Club, so that's just appeared randomly. That's quite nice. I've never actually compared myself to women's rugby, Farah, you know. I don't know about that one. You could always tape the rugby and watch it later. I'm showing my age there, aren't I? Telling you to tape something. .6 miles down to St. Earth. So I've still got it on full throttle just at the minute. SNCF's racing me now. .4 of a mile ahead. Yeah, it's not far at all, that is it? Yeah, as I say, I'm already behind time because I hung around a bit at the beginning, but I'm not too worried. Yeah, so on the West Cornwall route, you can run the 37 as freight or passenger, which is quite good. I don't think I've run that many so far. I got this route and a couple of others at the same time, so normally I would get one route and spend quite a lot of time on it. But I was a little bit spoiled for choice when I did get this one. Was this October last year? October or November last year? I think it was released, wasn't it? And then it was unreleased for a while whilst there was some work done on it. And then it was re-released again. But I didn't get it until... Oh, I'm going to miss the stop on now. Let's get the anchors on. That's because I'm talking too much. Oh, look at that, straight through. Yeah, I didn't get this until February, maybe. I'm going to have to go backwards, aren't I? Right, SNCF is... Oh, object... Alright, I'm going to take it. I mean, this is terrible. Unless we're all getting off at the signal box. Let's just have a look. I must be slightly in the station. What I do need to take some of that brake off. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Mind you, saying that, I think we would, if we'd have stopped in the right place, everyone's just having to walk up, look, but I think if we'd have stopped in the right place, the back of the train would probably still be off the end of the platform anyway. Because it's quite a long train, isn't it? And the platform isn't, doesn't match. Anyway, there's a lot of points lost for that. But this is, by the way, just going out to the left here, this is the branch line down to St Ives, which we've run on other videos in the on the channel. And after making a pig's ear of that stop, I will get underway. SNCF has to reverse. Well, there you go, it happens to the best of us then. I actually managed not to have to reverse. Right, I'm going to try and play professionally now for the next stop. I can't really be a DTG ambassador and have that much of a failed station stop there, can I? Having said that though, there is quite a skill in trying to read the chat and drive the train as you approach a station. There's quite a skill there to be learned. Camborne is next. sound right to me, that. Yeah, I'm surprised, Farah, that anybody still watches, to be honest. There's a 150 going back the other way. So that incident with Bus Sim was just literally down to the fact that I've not played it since the end of 2020. I could not remember how to get the bus started at all. And I decided not to have a practice first because I thought that was part of the video was that I was playing it again, you know, after so long, and I thought it would be cheating if I practiced first. So what you saw on that video was my live trying to remember again, but I've got it by the second video. I was back in business. So I was a bit eager on the brakes then, after speeding a little bit, but we'll get back to it. So, talking about buses, of course, the reason I put Bus Sim back on the channel, even though it's the old version of Bus Sim from the PS4, is because Tourist Bus Simulator is coming out May the 12th, and I hope to be able to bring that on release day, if not a little bit before, just to show you what it looks like on the console as well, if you're interested in that. I've been looking forward to that for quite some time. I've been watching a lot of the YouTubers play it on the PC. It looks pretty good. Looks like a decent sized map as well. So I'm hoping the console version is just as detailed as that. If it is, then I think we'll be okay. Looks quite interesting, that one. But I might drop a couple more videos on Bus Sim on the just prior to that release. What's that? May the 12th, couple of weeks now, isn't it? We're May bank holiday weekend, early May bank holiday weekend this weekend, so a couple of weeks to go. And then the other thing, of course, is that SnowRunner is getting its next gen update, which again is something else I haven't played for a long time. So I might jump back into SnowRunner as well on the channel once we get the next gen version. I think that's also May the 12th. And I did quite enjoy that until it went all a bit Minecrafty on me, where you didn't just pick up jobs to deliver materials different places. You had to build things out of different materials. You had to pick things up and then construct it. I wasn't as fussed on that side of it, if I'm honest. But I'll give it a try because it's on next gen. So yeah, SnowRunner is quite good. SNCF it is quite good. I think I got the initial season pass. I was just about to get the platinum trophy. There was one trophy that you had to complete all missions and tasks. I had something like 3 missions to complete that would have given me the platinum, and then the first DLC from the season pass was installed, which added another 50 something missions. So straight there and then I did myself out of getting the platinum by installing that. So I don't know whether or not with the next gen version it'll carry the save file over from the PS4 version, or whether we'll need to start. I don't mind starting again, to be honest. Have I got brakes on? No brakes. It's a 1.6 100% gradient, this SNCF, so yeah, free trophies, may as well start again. To be honest, it was the original release of SnowRunner was pretty enjoyable. I was on that daily, you know, a couple of hours a day, well, whenever I could sort of squeeze it in with work. But I did enjoy it, yeah. 2.8 miles to Camborne. It does actually feel like it's running a little bit slow, this. It's picking up. Got it. 39 miles an hour. SNCF is behind me. Don't forget to leave me a little like on the video, that would be great if you wouldn't mind doing that for me. Help move me up the list a little bit. So now we're on a downhill, so we're pretty good for now. Let's have a look again at the livery. It is nice, this one. I'd say there's a couple of versions of this. This was one I picked up pretty much when Creators Club came out. This was one of the early ones that was on there, but there are a couple of versions, so if you do decide to pick it up, this is the one by Cossie Josh, who is the same community member that designed the northern livery that we just used on the last scenario we did for the 150. Actually speed up a little. We're going uphill again. How many subs do you need to get monetized? You need, there's two elements to it. You need 1,000 subs, and you need 4,000 watch hours in a 12-month period as well. So there's two different ways to measure it. Yeah, 4,000 hours. So you can obviously help me by subscribing, and then if you want to leave all my playlists permanently playing in the background while you go to bed, that will help the 4,000 hours. Log in on all your computers and get them going. About 2,500 SNCF at the moment. 2,500 hours, something like that. Right, so we've got 0.7. I want to make a better stop this time. Just over half a mile to Camborne. We are uphill, so we might lose a bit of speed that way. I'll just put the first application on. I did drive the 37 on TVL the other week after the updates. I've not been in the 37 for a long time, so again, it's a case of getting used to the brakes, isn't it, when you've not driven something for quite a while. They all brake so differently. It's probably over braked here on a 1.8 gradient. It is quite a windy route, this. You are up and down quite a bit. But to the naked eye, it looks pretty flat for the most part. But you can see 1.8 is a pretty mean gradient, really. SNCF has lost the challenge. He's gone off path. You haven't ended up in St. Ives, have you, SNCF? This is Camborne. Still on a 1.8 gradient, even in the station. I'm not worried about it being perfect, but that will do for us. Let's get everybody loaded. There is a crossing here, but I don't know actually if we'll see the gates going up. I can't remember which camera is the free camera until we start moving, because as I say, I'm not using a keyboard, so I can't press a number key to actually get the free cam. But I was going to see the gates going up after we pass, but we'll try it. So everybody's nearly ready, and we can get going. We're slightly behind, aren't we? We're what, four and a half minutes late. It's fine. It's a lovely day for it. Red Roof's the next stop. Whoever she is. Right, so that's good. This is the free camera, so let's go down to the crossing. And hopefully these gates will rise unless something is coming the other way, of course. We'll try it. That's a great shot, that, isn't it? I love that. Now, will these gates rise? Do you not own this route then, Farah? It is quite nice. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good, isn't it? Should there not have been an audible warning though on that crossing? I'm not sure. No trophies. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, and that's why I didn't get it to begin with. You're right. There is no trophies, which is a real shame. That's right. The only thing it can do, there's no trophies for the route, but the only thing it can do is help you get trophies for the local based trophies. So for example, 370 miles in the class 37 as an example. I know you can do that on any route with a scenario planner. But you know, if you're doing it on a route you quite enjoy, this one's quite enjoyable. It can help you get those trophies. But yeah, I get you. You know my opinion on not putting trophies on routes. But there was obviously some notice taken of that, because routes after this, the trophies have reappeared, haven't they? They don't. There are no trophies for local DLCs, but there are for routes. I think that's quite important. Yeah, I think Farah, this one was in a sale, wasn't it? But it wasn't 50%. I imagine it won't be long before it's in a good sale, but I can tell you I can recommend it. It is one of my favourite routes actually. I like all the UK stuff, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know what will happen with that trophy limit unless there's some special agreement they can come to. SNCF says, why have I got the hood on? Because I'm not that pro yet on this route to be able to turn the hood off, so I'm playing it by the book. I'm still route learning. I don't religiously, if I'm honest, I don't religiously look at the hood the whole time I'm playing. It's there just if I need it. I know you can flick it on and off, but I just leave it there. I think if you're learning a route, you have to have the hood on for quite a while when you first start playing it, or you won't, you won't learn where the speed changes are and where the signals are. Play the route solid for a couple of weeks with the hood on, you'll soon be able to turn it off. I'm not at that stage yet. I do too much dipping in and out of different routes to be able to learn any of them inside out like that. This one's definitely got nostalgia, Farah, I would agree with that. And it's about immersion as well, isn't it? So on this one, for example, when we left Penzance, you could see how good the beach looked. I can imagine people catching a train to go on holiday when I play this route, which is something that naturally just jumps out at me. So you think, well, what's the route for? You got southeastern high speed. People are coming into London, for example. That's what you've got to think about there. Then, this one, people go down to Cornwall, Penzance. They go there on holiday, don't they? The only thing we could do, they've added in suitcases and the old BR trolleys for the suitcases. It'd be nice to have the passengers with we talked about it before. With buckets and spades. Even if it's just on this route and not on any others, you could potentially have it on Tees Valley, couldn't you? Near Saltburn. Buckets and spades, sort of beach clothing, if you know what I mean, shorts, t-shirts. But this does kind of make me feel like people are going on holiday, so it gives you a purpose for running the services up and down, if that makes sense. Don't know if that makes sense to you, but you're right, I didn't get this. I would normally have bought this on release, but because of the trophies I didn't buy it on release. I think this route I was most excited for, now I've stopped short. I was the most excited for this route since I was for Northern Trans Pennine, which I was eagerly awaiting, but then the trophy thing did put me off. But I think it probably put many people off, and that was probably picked up on by DTG. So this is Red Roof. This is quite a nice station as well. We've got the standard row of shops there from Saltburn. You'll see this row of shops at Saltburn. We've got a Chinese. Don't know about the reflection there. What else have we got? We got Corgi Toys. Look at that there. That's actual branding there. Look at that. That's real branding. I've never noticed that before. Over on this side we've got a suit shop, which is buried underground in some kind of surreal landslide. I don't know how that's happened. If you want to go in the Chinese, you're going to have to dig yourself in. Same with the barber shop, although that looks a bit closed. We got the council offices or something right here, which are also covered in the same mudslide. So yeah, red roof's not bad. Let's get these brakes off. Quite a high level of brake there to run off. True Road's next, 7.5 miles. And we can go up to 40, then a 70, so we can give it some. Still got a tiny bit of brake on there. There it goes. And the other thing, of course, about the routes, just going back to the routes, is that if you saw the Bakerloo on foot video I put on this week, it's another thing I like to do, just jump out and have a quick look round. So, you know, don't just drive the trains all the time. Just jump out and appreciate some of the detail, because there is a lot that you miss if you're just in the train. Some players obviously don't want to do anything else but drive the train. That's what they're there for. But it is quite interesting sometimes when you jump out and have a look around. There's not just the detail that goes into building the actual track and the immediate surroundings of the track. Some of the stations are actually well done, and I think that's why collectibles were put in as a thing, and also linked to achievements and trophies in many cases, just to get you to get out of the seat and encourage you to have a walk around and go, oh, look at that there, you know. Yeah, far I do too. So last weekend, Sunday afternoon, I did the Horseshoe Curve collectibles, which took me. I followed a guide, because again, that's another thing I'm not that bothered about. I'm not bothered about discovering them as such. I find that a guide helps me to focus in on where I need to go, but I tend to walk most of the line anyway. But I followed the guide, and even with the guide, Horseshoe Curve took me 2.5, 3 hours probably to get them all, and the trophy didn't pop at the end of that, which is another story. There's some issue at the moment with some of the Horseshoe Curve trophies, which has been reported, which has been looked at. But I've got all 80 collectibles for Horseshoe Curve, just not the trophy. But that's why I think probably before you joined Farrah, I was talking about the ones on Northern Trans Pennine. Excuse me. There's no linked trophy for the one on Northern Trans Pennine, so I left it till quite late. But on the PS4 version, I did actually go around and get those. I need to do it again for the PS5. It's been a while since I've walked around on Northern Trans Pennine. And it's the atmosphere as well. It's really weird. So when you're on board, such as now, you know, you get the noise of the engine, etc. When you're walking along the track, you get all the ambient noise. You get bird song. There's birds tweeting. There's all sorts going on that you don't get to appreciate unless you're walking around. So yeah, it's pretty good. I think that's the other reason as well, isn't it, why one of the trophies for the main game is to walk 100 miles on foot. So if you are a trophy collector or an achievement collector, you're going to have to do a fair bit of walking. Let's be honest, 100 miles is no easy task. I'm really speeding. Try and get some of that speed off. We are downhill as well. A couple of disused stations on the line. This is one that we just passed through. Go to the train spotter's favourite place. I've not done the Sherman Hill ones yet. I remember somebody saying that at least one of them was bugged. One of the collectibles was bugged. I don't know if that was fixed. So I did make a start on that, just in case I wasn't able to complete it. SNCF going along with the handbrake on. Handbrake. So we got just over 3 miles till we arrive at Truro. The thing is, Farah, as well though, is that because of the 64 gig DLC limit, I've had to take Sherman Hill off for now. That's one of the bigger routes. I think it's about 6.5 gig, Sherman Hill. So I had to take that off to get Horseshoe Curve. So until that issue's fixed, there's so much stuff I'm not able to play. SNCF says, is it 2 hours to go across? What do you mean, SNCF? You mean 2 hours end to end on this route? Oh, Sherman Hill, sorry, yeah, it is, it can be, yeah. Depends what service you're running, yeah, but end to end, yeah, it's 2 hours. It's actually alright though. The two depots at either end are quite nice. Well, it can be, it depends really. depends what you like. I would say, if you were comparing things like Sandpatch, Horseshoe Curve, Cane Creek, Sherman Hill, I would say if you were going to pick one of those, I would say you go for Horseshoe Curve, because I quite like that one. Horseshoe Curve has got a little bit of everything in there. Cane Creek and Sherman Hill are fairly similar, although Sherman Hill beats it for level of detail, I would say. But I think all these routes have got their own. I think they tried to make each route different, don't they? And they've all got their own pros and cons. Some players will only have the US freight stuff. Others won't touch it, like yourself, SNCF. But if you're playing one of those US freight routes, you do obviously need to dedicate quite a bit of time to doing it. And the other thing is, of course, that if you're doing, let's say you're in Sherman Hill, and you're interested in action points, you're not going to get as many action points as you are doing something else. All right, okay. So you found Sherman Hill bland and Cane Creek was better for you. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Is that each route will suit people differently. Yeah. I think on Cane Creek I really like the bottom end of Cane Creek as you go through those mountains and down to that sort of lake area. I thought I've forgotten the name of it, but the other end I thought was pretty plain. The single track part when you first start off, I thought was pretty plain. But I get you. I understand you. Yeah. As I said on the other video, the Horseshoe Curve for me is a combination of the best bits of all of them, I would say. It's got some Cane Creek and Sherman Hill in it, with a little bit of Sandpatch and Clinchfield thrown in. It's a very hybrid route of those. Sherman Hill's been on sale quite a lot, hasn't it, as well? I think right now, if you're on PlayStation, by the way, just have a quick look at the sale, because there are some items in the sale. Sherman Hill is on there for about £11, I think. I'm going to stop short again here, aren't I? £11, which to me is a bargain. I bought it in a sale, I think it was about £16, and I thought that was good. So £11, yeah. So, if you've got a few pounds spare, it's at £11, it's perhaps worth taking a punt on that. I'm sure you could get £11 worth out of it. So, here we are. Over the footbridge for trains to Penzance without a capital P. And the Falmouth line. So we got a lot of static wagons here, just waiting around. The 37 that we passed as well on the way in. We'll just go out and have a quick look. That's also static. I don't think we can we see it? It's over there by the shed. That's a static 37. There are a couple of scenarios for the 37 freight ones that do start from this yard as well. Over here we've got the Regional Railways 150. We'll zip back to the front. Yeah, price of the DLC is always a bit subjective, isn't it? And again, it comes down to your personal choice, doesn't it, and how much playability you're going to get out of each one. It just depends whether you can wait, because there's always going to be a sale at some point. It just depends whether you can hang on and wait for one of those sales to come round. Like I said, Sherman Hill was in the sale pretty quick. So I don't know how popular it was or wasn't. The high horn is kind of doable. But the low one, I'm not so sure about that one. So we got to go via, I think this is where we go down to the single track section. Yeah, the ramp's quite good, yeah. I was struggling to talk in that video when I did that, because I'd had COVID again, second time I'd had COVID. So I was okay, but it just affected my chest a little bit, so I was a bit croaky during that one. But yeah, the ramp, yeah, is good. The tilting train's excellent, actually. As I said in that video, I hope that's like opened the doors for tilting trains elsewhere on different routes for the future. Let's just check the schedule. So we've got to go via, and then we'll be at St Austell. Due in there at 10:07, so we're going to be a few minutes late. It's an enjoyable run. Going back to the ramp as well, there's plenty of freight on there too. The freight runs are good because it's a really long route. It's a decent length route, so I've quite enjoyed it, to be honest. That's also another route like this one where you feel like the route's got a purpose to it. And you come out of the city, you go into countryside, and then back at the other end, you're back into the city again. It's quite a nice run. It's kind of got the Dresden route in it, with a mix of Rosignoid. The middle section reminds me a lot of Rosignoid. Very, very countryside. Lots of trees, good scenery. So it is worth getting that if you want to get that in a sale, definitely. Especially if you've got a lot of the other German stuff, so you've got substitutions, so you can run your favourite locos from the other routes as well. So we've got a red in 1.8. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, forest, that's what I meant, yeah. Now I'm going to start slowing it up in time for this. I'm wondering if the red will change after this go via. So we're actually not that far from the end now. Because we've got quite a steep downhill going on, 0.9. Yeah, so it's changed to green as we've gone through the go via, which in this engine is a bit of a problem because I have to get the brakes off now. So we'll let the brakes come off. So we're due there now, actually. We're due in St. Oster, so we're 9 miles behind time. SNCF, I'm not in many, actually. I'm in the I'm in the train sim one, not the one that has all the shouting in it, if that makes sense. The other one that's run by Jason. The friendly one, the friendly Discord. Let me just have a quick look on my phone, I'll tell you what it's called. It's a good run, fire this one. It is a good run. It's called Train Sim World Community, it's called. 287 members. That's the one that I'm in. Good little Discord, that one. There's a few of the DTG staff in that one as well. JD, I think Matt, Natalie was in it, but obviously she's moved out of doing trains now, so whether she's still in it, I'm not sure who else is in it from DTG. Hi Observador, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so this is the single track section here, which is why we had the red early on. You can sometimes get stuck at that last signal whilst you wait for something to come up this section. We can see where we are on the map just now. It's been a decent run. Not far to go. I'm good, thanks, Observador. Yeah, I'm on the PS5, that's right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, SNCF, I'll send you a link. Just, if you want SNCF, just ping your Discord name there in the chat. I'm not a massive Discord user, to be honest, but I do like jumping in just to see what everyone's talking about. But if you leave your username, I can't stream in 4K, can I, Observador? I don't think I can stream in 4K. It should be in 180. Yeah, 180. Yeah. Yeah, because PS4 was 720, wasn't it? And if you look back at some of my really early videos, they look awful. Record is in 4K, yeah, you can record in 4K. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll try to stream in 180. Don't think it's 60 frames per second though, is it, that I'm doing? I tried to make it a bit more stable, more than anything. It looks good in 4K on my TV though, I'll tell you that, Observador, it looks good. What a massive difference. I'm gonna have to get a screenshot of this, you know. Of course, we've got the motion blur issue down the bottom here. Sometimes I flick that on or off, you know. Depends how much time I'm spending in the cab versus outside the cab. I only really notice it there on the wheels. Yeah, I'll second that, Farah. If you can get one and you can afford it, then see, I use mine as well as the main DVD player down in the living room as well. So I mean, it's not just, it's certainly in my house, it's not just for playing games on. I've got all the usual stuff on there: YouTube, Netflix, all those apps are on there. Twitch. Don't use Twitch that much, to be honest. I tend to watch things on YouTube if they're, you know, so the Rail Fan TV, for example. If it's simulcast on Twitch and YouTube, I always tend to watch it on YouTube. But and I don't know if I mentioned this before. The only thing about the PS5 is that there isn't enough disk space that comes with it as standard. Although some of the PS5 games are quite good on size, they're quite good on installation size. I have got some of my PS4 games still on there, and I know you can get an external disc to plug into the USB on the back, but I actually whipped in a 1TB M2 drive last weekend, which was very, very easy to do. They were in Amazon on the sale. I think I got it for 130 quid with a heatsink. That's a 1TB. That was the Western Digital Black 850. So I put that in, took the lids off, the covers I should say, took them off. First time they've been off in just under 18 months. Bit of dust in the fan, so I was able to get the compressed air in and get all that dirt out of the. I've got it on a shelf under the TV, but it is fairly low down to the floor. It's about 1.5 foot off the floor on the shelf, so it probably does pick up, fibres from the carpet. It wasn't that bad, but there was some dirt in the fan, so I managed to give that a good clean out, which was nice. But I've got another terabyte of space on there now, so I'm all right for a while. That would be the only thing that I would say about the PS5. It probably should have come with a bit more disk space, but then again, they would have bumped the price up even more, I guess. If you think about TSW, just as an example, if you own everything, the amount of DLC you've already got right now, it's a PS5 game if you're running it on the PS5, so you have to, you can't have it on an external drive. It has to be on an SSD in the main storage, so you've not much option really. You can only really store PS4 games on the external drives, I think, unless you have a separate drive that's a certain spec. It's not. It is. When you go into storage in the menu, it does show the two drives separately, but you can just choose which one is your main installation directory, or you can just swap and change where your installation directory is going forward. So I just put that in, and I immediately moved any PS4 games I installed over to the new drive. I've got TSW installed on the main drive still, but if DLCs keep releasing for this at the rate that they have been, then the standard disk space will get used up fairly quick, because you have a terabyte of standard disk space, but I think there's probably only 750, 800 gig of that actually available. I think the rest is reserved, isn't it, for system stuff? Yeah, it acts the same way as an external. Yeah. It's two separate discs, yeah. The other thing I noticed though, when I was transferring things across from the main storage to the new M2 drive, it copies it across in seconds. I copied across, I have Battlefield 5 on there, which is 109 gig. It literally copied that across in less than 10 seconds. It just shot across. I was amazed, really. I think that's the difference between it being an internal drive and an external drive plugged in over the USB speed. SNCF has spatted. This is why you must take your time, SNCF. You must use the HUD. You must be very careful. Good effort though, good effort. So we're on our last 2.2 miles. We might get there and see SNCF crashed into the buffers. Or off at Traveller's Fair getting his sandwiches and coffee. Yeah, those M2 drives are quite expensive. Yeah, they are. They are. And I bought one with gritted teeth, I must admit. But at the same time, I thought to myself, if I was a PC player, I'd probably be constantly buying new parts to keep myself upgraded. So I kind of had lots of vouchers for Amazon from Christmas that I'd not spent. So you know, I didn't shell out 139 quid, you know, just off my own money. People helped me out with vouchers, so. Right, we've got 1.5 miles to the SNCF SPAD, let's call it. I don't want to hit that, so we're already royally late. A couple of extra minutes won't make any difference at all. But if you haven't got this route, I hope you quite enjoyed watching this, especially with this 37. I really like this one. I must try to work out how to get the same liveried coaches on the back, because it'd be nice to see the full train. I'm already going to put the brakes on right now. See St Austell coming in the distance. Just, well, we could until the trees covered it up. You can just start to see the top of the church there. Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's about, Farah. If you can watch somebody else playing it, you know, you can make your own mind up, can't you? Then, and you know me. I won't give you a sales pitch. It is what it is. But it is quite a nice one. This. So we'll just take our time coming into St Austell. Yeah, the red is actually quite close, isn't it, to the stop marker? 20 yards difference. We got the palm trees here at St Austell, which I believe are there in real life as well, by the way. How dare I not go in at 50? I think I learnt my lesson for that first stop at St Earth, where I overshot the platform. That was my practice for this one, and I think after that one we'll be overrun by some way. I've learnt a lesson for this one. I've got the concentration face on right now. It's not going to give me that, is it? It's wanting me to be a bit more braver. Right, that should be good enough. Yeah, if you've been following the channel for a bit, Farah, there, you'll know that Arosa line wasn't my most favourite route. It looks nice for the most part, but it wasn't my, you know, playability wise and everything, it wasn't the best one. They've definitely come on leaps and bounds since then though. Isle of Wight was alright. I quite liked Isle of Wight, to be honest. I'm talking about it like it's in the past because I haven't got it installed. It's another one that I had to lose recently, unfortunately. But this one definitely is much better. Lucerne actually is the other one they've done, isn't it? And that's alright. I quite like that one. So let's lock those. That should be it. An hour and 15, so another 40 miles. So we did alright on that one. Really nice run. It's a silver medal because we were so late. But we beat SNCF, so we really got the gold medal for that one. So that's all that really matters. He tried to call me out on a 2-up challenge and didn't finish the thing. So, you know, we'll take it. We're happy with that one. So, a couple of good runs. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. We'll finish it there for today. But it's been a good stream. Thanks for all the participation, as usual. And thanks for giving me the thumbs up on the chat. And I'll probably release something during the week. So until then, take care, everyone. And I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye for now, guys.